Hi, my name is Blakely, and today I'm going to give an informative speech on aphasia. Verbal communication is one of the biggest things that people take for granted. But what if we woke up one day and we were unable to verbally communicate? How would we relay messages with each other? How would we tell each other things? Today I'm going to inform you on something called aphasia. Aphasia exists in about 1/3 of stroke patients that have trauma to the left hemisphere of their brain, according to an article called Cognitive Performance in Aphasia. I will be talking about what it is, what causes aphasia, and the parts of the brain it affects. Also, how people with aphasia communicate in their daily lives. The first thing I will discuss is what aphasia is. What is aphasia? Aphasia is the loss of speech or ability to communicate due to brain damage, according to the article Post-Stroke Language Disorder. What causes aphasia? The main cause of aphasia is stroke, in which stroke is the cutoff of blood flow to a certain part of the brain, according to the article Language and Speech Disorders. A good example of this would be a couple years ago, my grandmother had a really bad stroke, and she was diagnosed with aphasia, and she is now unable to verbally communicate. She can comprehend everything that people tell her, and she knows exactly what she wants to say, but she can't quite get the words out. Another example would be my roommate's grandmother. She had a stroke a while back as well, and she can verbally speak, but it messed with her motor function in the right side of her body. The visual aid that I have today is a picture of the brain showing the two main parts that affect patients with aphasia most. One of the parts is called Broca's area, and the other is Wernicke's area. It's a W, but he's German, so it's pronounced with a V. Broca's area is located on the left side of the frontal lobe, and it affects speech and motor function, according to the article written by Julius Fredrickson. This is what affects my grandmother. The other section is called Wernicke's area. This is located in the left middle side, and this affects reading, writing, and often comprehension of spoken language. So what do people with aphasia do to communicate in their daily lives? A lot of people who have aphasia and who are affected with their speech often go to speech therapy. My grandmother started to go to speech therapy, and it helped her a lot. Often people also communicate without words. A lot of people can use sign language or even pictures, or even if they don't know sign language, they would use different hand motions or pointing motions. Like if they wanted something to eat, they would gesture to eat, or if they were tired, they would gesture to go to sleep. And this is according to the article Multimodal Communication in Aphasia. As you can see, the brain is a very complex and sensitive organ. The brain is very broken down into different parts, which is why whenever one piece of the brain experiences trauma, the whole brain doesn't shut down, and it can still function. It just has different pieces and parts of it that affects different things. In conclusion, aphasia is a loss of speech and communication due to damage to the brain. Aphasia can affect two main areas of the brain, which are Broca and Wernicke's area. The major difference between these two is that one controls speech and the other controls comprehension. Though it may be harder, people with aphasia are still able to communicate through pictures, hand motions, and even going to speech therapy to help them practice speaking better.